Hey YouTube, wanted to talk for a little bit here about some lies that breweries tell customers. Some of this also applies to bars, but it's primarily breweries. So I took a few quick notes here so I wouldn't forget anything. The first lie, and I've been told this by a couple of bartenders, none of them were brewers though, when they give excess foam in beer. They have told me that that's needed so you can smell the aroma. No, it's not. I've been a home brewer now for well over 10 years, and I also worked in a brewery for a little while, and I've known several professional brewers. Not one of them, including myself, has ever said that. You don't need foam to smell aroma. Does it help? Yeah, it does a little bit. But the foam eventually dies down and you can still smell aroma, can't you? It's because the hops have chemically bonded with the malt during the boiling process. That's where you're getting some of the aroma from. The reason that they give so much foam is because it's more profit. You get less beer, they get more money. There's a particular chain in Oregon and Washington that I could say the name, but I think most people probably know. I mean, they're a restaurant brew pub. They're very well known, many locations. I've had a couple of their bartenders, and they have a pretty big turnover, that have said, according to the brothers that own the place, they're supposed to give you a nickel of head on each beer so you can smell the aroma. I actually called out one of the bartenders and said that's not true. It's because, first of all, let's just say that you did need aroma or foam to smell the aroma, and nickel, that's a lot. The reason they do that is because it means you get less beer, they get more money. There's no other reason for it. I actually did have a bartender that, I had a decent relationship with him. I've been there a number of times. Of course, I also gave him pretty big tips. That I mentioned that to him, and he even looked at me and said, "That's pure bullshit." He goes, "That's something the bartenders are told to tell people, but it's bullshit. You don't need a lot of foam." And he said the exact same thing I did. The reason they do that is because they get more money. So that's one lie they tell. Another one I've heard is higher gravity beers, which tend to have more alcohol, are more expensive, so they charge more. That's true in a way, but that's not entirely the case. There's more to it than that. So first of all, breweries get a better deal on ingredients than homebrewers do because they buy in quantity. Whereas a home brewer might spend $1.25 or $1.50 or so on malt, depending on what it is. Sometimes even a little bit more. Breweries get it for much less. I've seen anywhere from 30 to 70 cents a pound for domestic. So they're paying much less. Now you say, okay, but they're using double the ingredients, so it's going to cost double the price. Yes, it can. Again, depending on the quantity they're buying. But that beer that normally would cost $5, they say it's $7 because of all the ingredients we use. Not necessarily. Maybe the batch outright, for normal beer would cost, let's say $500. Okay. Um, it may cost 1,000 for the larger batch, or it may cost less, depending on the quantity. But yes, they do have to get that money back. I understand that. But when I see a beer that they say, okay, it's a double or triple, but but we're charging $7, $8 for it, they're making a lot of money off that. They're not going broke. So they're already paying much less than home brewers. They are using more ingredients, but they're already getting a discount. So it's kind of true, kind of false. But when they say it's so much more money, it really is not. It's not as much as I've heard some of them say it is. Another one I've only had one bartender say this outright. Well, okay, myself and my lady have had two bartenders say this, but only one was really snobby about it. When we go out for beer, we like to sample several of them because we don't just drink anything. Whereas some people at the bar, will drink their Rainier, their PBR, their Coors. They don't care. It's all liquor. It's just to get them drunk. We're picky. If we're paying $5, $6 a glass, we're picky. So I've gone through as little as two. Sometimes I've gone through 6 samples to find what I want. The one bartender who's nice about it, we had I think 3 samples each. He said, "Yeah, I can't give you too much more." We just kept asking for more. He didn't say anything, but we did buy a lot of beer at that place because they also sold bottles. He didn't really say much. Now this other girl, the girl that cut us off, we had I think 5 samples, and then we ordered one beer. We split it because neither of us wanted the full beer. Sometimes we do that, and then sometimes you'll just order our own. So she said, yeah, by state law, we're not allowed to give this many samples. And I actually looked and I said, that's not true. The 2 states I'm referring to, I have looked into the liquor laws. Nowhere did it say you're only allowed to give so many samples. Now, I had one person say that they limit the size of the sample. They can't give you that much, maybe only so much. I didn't find that, but as far as being told, no, we can only give you like 3 samples, that's it, that's a lie. That is a flat lie. They can give you as many as they want. I've had a brewery that's about 15 minutes from me here. I've had 7, 8, 9 samples from trying to test different beers out and see if I liked it or not. They've never said to me, and before somebody says, yes, but they're not supposed to, whatever, look into what the law says. Now, maybe some states do have that, but the ones I looked into, no, they do not say that. The reason why they limit that is because they think they're giving away free beer, and in a way they are, but they're giving you I've seen some that are half an ounce, some that are 1 ounce samples, not very much. When you're buying a $5, $6 beer, they're making all that money back, and then some. They're not losing money, trust me. So, yeah, it's free beer, but you're also making a sale, and you're giving a potential sale by having people try different beers. But back to the point, where we can only give you so many samples by law, not by policy, but by law, that is a lie. By policy, I could see that, by 3, 4 samples, they should know, okay, get that. Because some people might just drink samples all day. No, but I'll try 5, 6 until I know, until I get the right beer. The last thing is that import beers cost more money. Well, I shouldn't say import beers. Let me back up. When a brewery says, okay, this is a German style beer, this is a Belgian, a Czech, whatever, some European beer, and it costs more to make, therefore, we charge more. Depends. If they use all imported ingredients, malt and hops, then it can cost more, but it's not that significant. Now, I brew German and Belgian beers all the time, and I use largely domestic malt and hops, and I use Belgian or German yeast. Is it exactly the same? No, it's not, because it's not grown over there. There's going to be some different flavor profiles or properties, but for me it's good enough. Now let's say no, you want absolutely true to the style. You're going to import all your grain. Okay, fine. The cost is not that radically different. When I've looked at malt for home use, okay, the import malt was I think 30-40 cents more a pound. It wasn't that significant. So if I'm paying say $1.25 for domestic, the import was I saw between $1.40, $1.50, about there. So well, okay, that's not quite 40 cents, but you get the idea. So when they say costs way more to make, it does cost a little bit more if you use imported ingredients. Yes. Does it cost way more? No, it does not. It's not that significant. And again, like I said before, they're buying ingredients in bulk. What I mean by that is they're stupid to only buy 1 or 2 bags. They're probably buying a pallet, at least they should be, of malt and big bags of hops. That's sold at a discount. So when they say, okay, this beer, if it was all domestic, it would cost $4 because it's all imported $6. Well, yeah, they're making money there, obviously. It did not cost that radically much. I've seen the costs on imported goods. It's not insane. It's not double. It's not triple. It's a little bit more, but quantity stuff. So, you may not care. You might go, yeah, I don't care. I'll pay it anyway. I'm just saying that when they go, yeah, this beer, it's especially if they say it's European style, but we use a lot of American ingredients, but maybe Belgian yeast, then it shouldn't be any higher than the other ones because it doesn't cost the ingredients are the same price as domestic. But they know people will pay more because, oh, it's Belgian style. Didn't cost any more to make. So those are a few lies I've heard bartenders, never really the brewery owner, but bartenders tell customers. I don't say anything to them. The only one I rebelled against was a girl that said they're limited by law in how many samples they can give. And I flat out told her, you know, I have read the laws on this. I've looked into it actually because I've looked at opening a brewery. That's not true. That is not true. And then, of course, at that point she goes, "Well, we can we can refuse service to anybody." I said, "Yeah, you can." We took our business somewhere else. Of course, that place is still around because it's a dive and people are going to go there no matter how bad it is. Well, anyway, that's a few rebuttals here to what they say. Just you may not care, but I just want to let people know some of these common lies they tell. Some of them are flat out lies. Some of them are only partially true.